Single row subqueries. In the previous lessons, we learned what subqueries were. They are queries within other queries. And there are two main types of subqueries. They depend on the data you get from them. There's a single row subquery and a multi-row subquery. A single row subquery returns a single row, and a multi-row subquery returns multiple rows. The difference between these is important because it determines how you use them. For example, a subquery that finds the average value in a table will return a single row, whereas a subquery that finds all salaries greater than 100,000 will return multiple rows. Let's take a look at an example of a single row subquery. So, we want to find all employees that have a salary greater than the average salary for all employees. First, we find the average salary. We can see that we have a single value of about 68,212. Now, to write a subquery, we go to the top of our query here. We want to select and then show the fields we want to select, such as employee ID, first name, last name, and salary. Then we have our from clause. We're allowed to select from the same table here. Then we have where, and then we have the word salary. And we want to filter where salary is greater than the value from our select clause here. So we put in open brackets and then close brackets after our query here. To make it easy to read, I like to indent the subqueries here. So what does this query do? First, it finds our average value, which was 68,000. Then it uses that as the where clause in the outer query. So this entire part here would be calculated as 68,000 and then used in the where clause. The outer query then selects the data from the employee table, but only shows where the salary is greater than that average. Let's run this query. You can see our results here. All employee data has a salary greater than that average value. It shows 103 records here. This subquery is called a single row subquery because the subquery, which is select average, always returns a single row. We can then say where salary is greater than that select average. So that's how you run a single row subquery. Next, we'll take a look at a multi-row subquery.